Good afternoon from Kirksville, Missouri. This is Randy Curvin, and this is Rant and Randy's Rant. And hello, Sherry Puckett. Uh, I want to preface this, and I'll tell you why as people come in. Uh, Missouri uh, confirmed cases of COVID-19 at 22,595. Deaths are confirmed at 1,049. And the reason I brought that up again is because my stepson is trying to interfere. There were going to be five at our little picnic uh, out at Thousand Hills Park. My two brother-in-laws, my mother-in-law, and Grace and I. He now wants to screw that up and possibly bring his in-laws, making the total at one table around 14 to 15 people. I'm going to have to try to leave him a message because you cannot call him directly anymore. Even his grandmother can't call him directly anymore. And this is what he does every time we have a holiday. He is like Trump in that it all has to go his way, the way he wants to do it. Quite frankly, with a mother-in-law almost 82 years old, she gives in to him, and I'm going to try to straighten it out. I'll still agree hello, everyone. I'll still agree to have it out at the park, but they're going to have to be at a separate picnic table, which will be probably 30 feet from us. That's the only way I'll agree to it. Otherwise, I don't give a damn what him, his wife, and the grandchildren do. This is not right, and my mother-in-law will not put her foot down as far as telling Christopher no. I will, and I'm going to. This time he's not going to have it his way. This is what happens when you have barbecues. The virus is very happy to accommodate. These are people that are outside the household, and that's what they're warning against. Warning against more than 10 people in a crowd. And that's only with social distancing. And if you're closer than that, wear masks. Well, he won't wear a mask because of great leader. And that's the whole problem. This is how the family has been busted up over Donald J. Trump. Damn it. Oh, shit. Now I'll try to get into this and make it as quick as I can. Oh, I wanted to start this out with the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, is just signed a emergency executive order that all people in Texas must wear masks. And I thought that was a good one. That was a good friend of mine, Ben Elser. I hope I pronounced that correctly, Ben. I told him it was great news, and I was glad to hear that. So, Pence's plans to spread the COVID is not going well. And I'll start it out with, well, that's page 6, but let's start out on page 6 because that's where I put the information about Missouri and COVID-19. Last night, blocking election security. Senate strips provision from Intel bill requiring campaigns to report foreign election help. Senator Mark Warner says Republicans forced its removal to pass a larger national defense authority. National Defense Authorization Act. The bill and it authorized defense spending, which is a terrible decision that would allow Donnie to go into DOD after the Supreme Court said he cannot be going after military funds. He's trying to find any way he can around things, and the Republicans are helping. Warner will put it up an amendment to the bill so everyone knows on record why they wouldn't allow election security in 2020. And that's something I would like to see if is the reasoning behind why they don't want alert election security. And we know the reason. They want that foreign money. They want that dark money coming in, as if they don't have enough help with voter suppression and everything else. Let's get some foreigners involved in our politics. Seattle police chief. This is the one that about the chop zone. I didn't get to finish that report last night, but they were. Chris was about to talk to the Seattle police chief. Donnie was claiming it was a win for him, and putting down the mayor of Seattle that it wasn't a love fest. Oh, shit. Today, 1.4 million filed new filings for unemployment in June. That was the June report, because tomorrow is actually the official 4th of July holiday for those working. They will get a day off because of 4th of July being on Saturday. So I heard about that on Rachel last night and stayed on the story to find it out today. And this comes also as COVID increases, and July 31st, I'm jumping ahead of myself on this because I'm going to go back to page 1. But July 31st, the extra $600 for the unemployed will end. And there are still people that have been waiting 8 weeks from the time they filed over some kind of error that they had to line up and spend the night overnight waiting to be able to talk to someone live, because you couldn't get through the unemployment through the telephone lines. Oh boy, these glasses are really becoming something. I have to back off and look at it. And keep in mind, this was from last night. This afternoon, to keep from being repetitious, okay, this is from last night. Live updates from California and Pennsylvania to impose new restrictions amid the spike in coronavirus cases in 45 states. 7-day averages of new infections are higher than they were a week ago, according to the Washington Post, I believe, analysis. Their president is in La La Land. That's not from me. That's from Rachel. And he still thinks it's going to disappear. I hope. That's what he said. Right. You said that before. Like when, Donnie? After all, you're the most informed person on planet Earth. So when is it going to disappear? You had one job to serve and protect the citizens of this country, and you couldn't even do that because it's all about you. That reminds me of my stepson. He's all about him. And what was it that their president, Dumb Don, doing on that February 27th as the coronavirus started to rise in this country? He spent 45 minutes with the right wing conservative play cast talking about the play, The Deep State, the play about Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, and is a musical. Well, they were going to give it to him in 15 minutes. It took him 45. He was so enthralled with the play. And also that day, you know, the two black women, the Cuckoos, to stay around him, he met in the cabinet room with them that day. And it was also the day in February that Trump got the written briefing on the possible Russian bounties officials say. They didn't read it story style, so he didn't read it at all. He just tucked it away in the book. Yeah, boy, that's a real good job you're doing as president. It's more important to hear from them than it is any possible Russia connection. We know why that is. You and Putin are big buddies. You're not going to ever say anything bad about Putin. You never have, and you never will. If Putin said he was coming over and invade this country, you would say, well, he said he wasn't. And let's look at 7:09 a.m. 7120. Tweety Turd was already tweeting. The Russian bounty story is just another made up by fake news tale that is only told to damage me in the Republican Party. Again, me. Me becomes comes before the Republican Party, just like he is. The secret source probably does not even exist, just like the story itself. If the discredited New York Times, I bet their readership has gone up a lot. They're always discredited. If the discredited New York Times has a source, reveal it. Where? Where you can ruin their career, threaten to jail them or sue them? Give me a fucking break. Just another hoax is the way he ended that tweet. White House does not plan any immediate response. The intel reports on the Russian bounties targeting U.S. troops. And he can't. He owes them. He owes them for 2016. He's going to be owing them for 2020 if he gets back in, and he knows it. He also said that he's talked to Putin, and Putin said it didn't happen. So, to hell with intel. Putin knows better. And that's what he's done time and again. Helsinki, he agreed with Putin over the intel. Okay, I already got that. Some of Trump's senior officials, intel officials, viewed the information as credible enough to warn the Pentagon and allies so they could ensure they had measures in place to protect their forces. Trump is not convinced he should do anything about the bounty issue. And July 1st, and I think this is the case, well, they can't call today yet. July 1st, we crossed the 50,000 new cases per day mark. We're headed to 100,000. Rachel again. Economic rescue package stretches jobless benefits. I already talked about this, but I'll go through what I wrote down. The bill also provides a weekly benefit of $600 in additional to the typical unemployment benefit, although only through July 31st. Senate Democrats pushed to extend the enhanced unemployment benefits until jobless rates fall. GOP senators say enough already. McConnell told reporters, I think that was a mistake. Oklahomans camped out. This is the story I was talking about earlier. Overnight to speak in person to sign up or straighten out a problem since they couldn't be reached by phone. That's what I was talking about. Is they could not reach them by phone, so they ended up camping out to talk to somebody in person about their unemployment. Uh, and that was also the day Oklahoma, or the day before, Oklahoma voters approved Medicaid after expansion as COVID cases climb. At least 200,000 Oklahoman adults will be newly eligible for Medicaid under Obamacare. Now, where's Trump? In the Supreme Court of the United States trying to strike down all of the ACA Obamacare. AP, amid coverage losses, Obamacare enrollments are up to 487,000 people signed up with healthcare.gov after losing their workplace coverage this year because of unemployment. Shit. Damn it, damn it, damn it. You got to be shitting me. Oh, if Trump and his lawyers have their way in the Supreme Court of the United States, the newest GOP pre-existing would be there are after effects of COVID-19, like bad lung capacity, things you would need rehabilitation for. But this could make sure that nobody that has any, that would be a pre-existing condition, COVID-19, and they would be lucky if they could even get health insurance. European Union, and this is showing you how well the EU is doing. They have a population of 446 million people. Collectively, they have reported new coronavirus cases reported yesterday at 3,543 cases. Compare that to Arizona, 14th largest in populace, with a population of 7.3 million people. New coronavirus cases reported yesterday, 4,878. See the difference? 466 million people, and they have less cases on a daily basis than Arizona. Think about that for a moment, particularly you Republicans. Isn't that a great response? And Pence is out there bragging about the job they've done. He's down in Florida bragging about it. Go into the hot spots. It's like I said, it's the COVID-19 spread the virus campaign for Trump. The EU is controlling their pandemic. Arizona is not. Arizona broke a new record with 88 more deaths reported. And that's the bullshit they put out, that deaths are going down. Really? How come we're seeing from anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 in one day if those deaths are going down? With hospitalizations in Arizona, they are up and they're running out of capacity. Uh, they're not so worried, according to a doctor that Rachel was talking about, they're not so worried about the beds, but the staffing for the additional beds. You can't have beds if you don't have the staff. All right, getting down to the last page. Rachel, New York Times, Afghan contractor handed out Russian cash to kill Americans, officials say. Azuzi, that's as much, I don't want to try to pronounce his first name. I believe he's a Pakistan, but in any case, he left Kabul and went back to Russia, not to his home country. Named as by the American intel, is reports he was the middleman who was doing this for and has been doing this for years. And I just went on to remind people that, and I really didn't get started with the last word last night. Tried to get to bed a little earlier. It does help when I'm going through all this stuff. But in any case, it will be interesting to see what leaks out, because a lot of what was covered in the Democrats being able to, the Gang of Eight being able to find out, which includes McConnell, according to what I heard, find out from the intelligence agencies exactly what's going on with that story. There are some, like Bloody Mary in the CIA. We'll see whether they lie or not for Supreme Leader. If they do, we know that they don't give a damn what their reputation goes to. It's do whatever the Supreme Leader wants them to do. We shall see. And that's about all I got. Hello, Debbie. Hello, Fred Bear. All right, seeing some new faces. There's Dee Larson. Thank you for coming. Thank all of you for coming. And thank you, Homer's Reluctant Odyssey. I know their names, but I'm getting so many names in my head right now that it would take me a few minutes just to call out those two. I love their website, and I have the sticker over there on the wall. And hello, Bonnie. Yeah, it's not going away, Bonnie. He's going to wish it away. Oh, and they know no shame, Linda. They don't even know what the word means. And hello, Josh. Oh, man. That's what I'm talking about. This man has busted up families. We're sick of it. We don't want it this way. We're not going to keep putting up with this bullshit. We have to get this turd out of the White House. We have to pull as many people as we can to vote blue on November 3rd so we flush the turd. The turd is not the only one that has got to leave. We have got to take the Senate. Looks like Amy McGrath is going to have a great chance at that. Their little Republican plot of the black guy running as a Democrat didn't work. Amy came out on top. They thought they were gonna see. They were projecting on to Amy McGrath to be in a Trump type when it turns out he was the Trump type, a friend of people like McConnell. Shit, they think they can pull over any kind of bullshit and just, project onto others. Didn't work. Let me see who else. All right. We got a great crowd. I understand there's a lot of you. Hello, Lisa. Uh, there's a lot of you that can't get through to make it to comments, but you can always comment after I'm through. I only sent it out to, let me recall. I know I sent it out to Rant and Randy's, the True Patriot Group. I sent it out to JBS and to my timeline. I think that's about all. I sent it out. I got a good crowd here in my little blue room. So I'm happy with that. I really appreciate you all. The last time I looked, we were at 159 subscribers. So this group, even though it's growing slowly, it's reaching a much larger audience. Facebook, the last time I looked, I had 200 and something views. That's encouraging because there are people out there watching me that haven't liked or shared or whatever, but they are out there seeing this broadcast. That gives me a lot of hope for the Blue Dot family and the cause that we all stand for. I gained a couple of new friends, and all of them so far are Blue Dot members. So that's good news in itself right there. So I will leave you today. We've got to go after a while and see about something to eat. We're just going to pick up something cheap and quick for today. We've got a busy day tomorrow, but my rant is not till 6 p.m. on Facebook, so it shouldn't affect that. Getting the stuff. See, that's another reason it really pisses me off about my stepson stepping in and messing up everybody's plans. We don't know if he's dragging his in-laws with him. That would be, like I was saying, you'd end up with a small picnic table and 14 or 15 people, all in the same area. That's what the virus loves. Get them all together and get them sick. All right. I will let you go at this time. I want you to go down, like, and share this shit. Let's get it out there. Let's get it everywhere we can. I'm gaining new groups that I send it out to, and people are responding. So let's get the job done. Let's get the word out. Let's vote blue. On November 3rd, we flush the turd and clean out the Senate and the rest of the House and make it democratic where we can take this country back, my brothers and sisters, and we will. Have a good one. Leave you with peace. Resist, persist, and keep insisting we apply pressure, whether it's peaceful protest, whether it's tying up Congress's lines. Let's get the message across. They need to hear it. They have to listen. Public pressure can do a lot. I'll see you on my my Facebook show tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye-bye now. Share this shit.